So after several attempts at trying to connect to the game and failing miserably, I decided to open up Google and see what the problem was. Turns out half the earth was experiencing the same problem. Eventually I get in and it is fetching my profile. This is fantastic. I cannot play a single player game with no internet connection. Yay me. Very soon though, the game opens up and I get to select the campaign mode. It warns me of mature content while I select the bitch mode. In true Call of Duty style, it opens up with a blind Arab general. The cigarette in hand, Kalashnikov wielding partner and bomb vest make it very evident that these people are bad guys, and this kid is about to get owned. It opens up with a beautiful sweep over a fictitious country. One of our protagonists appears to be the bad guy from Dodgeball the movie. He's flying over the fictitious country, obviously speaking to the big boss himself. I know this because he's speaking into the monitors and doing no work. And because this is the army, a woman bursts in the tent and I can only assume she's there to collect people's lunch order. What do you want for lunch, bad guy from Dodgeball? No time for lunch orders because our hero has to jump out of a helicopter and initiate the coolest intro I've ever seen. As I read the wording on the lower left hand side of the screen, I am immediately shocked when I realize that this is actually in game. The crosshair gave it away. No jokes aside, I was horrified that this was the in-game graphics. I looked around and this is not a cutscene. I had full control over my player and this shocked me to the core. I spent the following few minutes playing with the light, looking at trees, at rocks. Everybody knows that this is Marlboro. You are not fooling anyone, Call of Duty. Shame on you. As I walk into the forest, I get an immediate sense of immersion because I have virtually no HUD. Everything feels extremely real and I have no idea what an enemy will look like because I have no idea what my teammates actually look like. This is going to be epic. As we approach a mysterious compound, I see that somebody gets shot in the head. They clearly have snipers watching us. As their snipers start firing 1 or 2 rounds towards us, we of course being American decide to retaliate with a Hellfire airstrike. I find myself being blown away by the visuals. It is absolutely stunning to look at and I have never in my life been this shocked. You're probably wondering why I don't sound very shocked, but I've watched this footage about 17 times. I go through a door and now start approaching the now destroyed compound. I see a couple of enemies on the bottom and I don't know if I should fire or if I should creep, so naturally I open fire. The shots leave your gun in a disturbingly realistic manner. The recoil feels strange and I'm so deeply immersed in the content that I cannot make sense of what is happening. I'm not hearing my teammates, I'm not seeing instructions, I just want to kill things. At this point I couldn't quite put my finger on why this game feels so realistic. I'm still shocked. I do a bit of research on Google and it turns out this game uses something called RTX graphics, making the lights appear a lot more real. I don't care what RTX is, but I'm glad the game feels amazing and I proceed forward. As I hear people screaming from the flaming compound, I feel compassion towards them and put them into the ground. No man deserves to burn to death, regardless of how good that meat smells. I approach a small room and take out the occupants inside, allowing my team to enter first because I'm scared at this stage. I get a sense of just how realistic everything is. All the detail on all the characters are shockingly real, and I am just blown away at this stage by what I'm experiencing. I mean, look at the detail on this man's eye. It is incredible. I wonder what it would look like if I shot him. Gross. Nonetheless, it's time to have a real gunfight, and I know for a fact that this is going to be bad. In previous Call of Duty games, you could very easily tell who the enemy was. The lighting wasn't so realistic, the enemies were clearly marked, and you could get a general sense of where you needed to go. With this game, it was the complete opposite. Completely stripped away, hidden enemies, frantic movements and visuals to the point where I had no idea what was going on. All I could tell though was that I was having a lot of fun, and this was the best game I've ever played in my entire life. After very embarrassingly dying several times, I make my way through my first gunfight and realize that I've got a lot to learn. Not to worry, once I complete this game, I'm going to play it another 50 times more so that I can completely take in the entire experience. Your teammates are only marked by a light blue banner. You can't actually see it until you aim your weapon at them. So in this crazy amount of environmental effects, it's very difficult to make out who's a good guy and who's a bad guy. Everybody looks the same. That sounds racist, it probably is. Eventually I make my way to the back of this open area and I completely miss one of the enemies crouching down. That's how intense the battle is. He promptly shoots me in the face. Not to worry, I quickly respawn and kill the 2 enemies on the step, a lot more swiftly this time round. I be sure to double tap the one guy to make sure that he doesn't turn. As I climb the stairs, I now know that the crouching man is hiding there, so I promptly put a clip into his face. You can see the bullet hole in his eye. See more enemies, take them out and then throw a grenade at their now dead corpses. I'm hardcore like that. The heavy use of darkness mixed with floodlighting makes this game super intense. You can never really see what's going on, so it makes gunfighting seem extremely realistic. I've never myself been in a gunfight, but I can imagine if gunfights were real, it would be terrifying and scary just like this. I make my way to a warehouse door and I put on a gas mask because clearly I'm about to enter an area with heavy toxins, and I need to breathe. Some cunt turns off the lights and I'm struggling to see what I'm doing. But I can put on a torch so everything is fine. As I put on a torch in complete darkness, I get a full new sense of the world. I suddenly have most of my peripheral vision stripped away, and suddenly my focus of attention is dead center on the screen, and I feel terrified to look around, not knowing what is lurking in the shadows.
You hear that? Whoever killed the powers in you? Shit! Find him!
I could literally feel my pulse beating in my hands and neck. I'm not sure why I was scared, because one respawn could easily fix the situation, but that's how immersive the game actually made me feel. I didn't want to die here. The action was so intense that I didn't even read the instructions on screen, and I'm sad that I didn't get to flashbang the bad dudes. Oh well, next time. I get to the back of the room and I find the switch for the lighting. Being an alpha male, I decide to smash the switch on with the back of my gun. It doesn't work, so I unfortunately have to use the lever. Once the lights go back on, my dick-headed friend kicks over the bad guy. We head out the back of the warehouse and I find a truck loaded with what seems to be some kind of a nerve agent. GG. We exit out the back of the compound and the mission appears to be finished. However, I'm getting a sense that this convoy is probably going to be under attack any second. The convoy was then under attack. A couple of shots later, an explosion, and I felt my corpse getting dragged out of the vehicle by a teammate. Clearly this guy's going to make it. He probably has a family back home that, oh my word, he's not going to make it, he's dead. I notice the man is rocking the bright green copyright safe Adidas stripes on his shirt, clearly meaning that he's some kind of a Slav mercenary for hire. The man realizes that I'm American and shits in his pants and decides to leave me alive. Bad move, boy. I'm coming for you. Back at the base, it seems that generic white lady is getting court-martialed for not keeping the kitchen fully stocked. The captain seems pissed and immediately reports generic white lady to her supervisor, Beyonce's mother. Beyonce's mother, naturally pissed off, gives her the death stare. After a few grueling minutes, Beyonce's mother gives a final verbal warning and sends her back to the kitchen. And our story moves over to a mysterious sniper about to shoot a driver in the head. However, there are alternate plans, and Chuck Norris's worst nightmare suddenly enters the picture. Captain Price. The manliest man in the world. This man's balls is made out of the same metal that was used in Wolverine's claws. He is unbreakable. But unfortunately that is all we have time for today. You'll have to tune into episode 2 where you find out how Captain Balls of Steel Price fits into the picture and why he gets mysteriously partnered up with Tiger Woods. I'll also be explaining why Mia Khalifa and Thor's unemployed cousin end up shooting a dog, and why CrossFit Syria's membership is at an all-time low. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, flak out. At this stage you're probably wondering how on earth I managed to get this video quality so impeccably perfect. Well, it turns out other than recording with the new Predator Triton 500, Sonic Informed in South Africa sent me their new AverMedia Live Streamer 311 kit, a complete YouTube and Twitch starter pack. It is a kit containing an AverMedia AM310 microphone, the AverMedia Live Gamer capture card in mini form, and of course the 1080p Live Streamer Cam 313. This entire video was recorded using the condenser microphone, and I must say it is miles ahead of the previous microphone I used to use. In fact, I have now made this microphone my main microphone. The simple to use capture card has an HDMI input, output, as well as a USB 2 port. I must admit I was a little bit upset knowing that it was a USB 2 port and not a USB 3.1 port. However, after reviewing the visuals that this device captured, I don't see a problem. I see full 1080p resolution, I see perfect 60 frames per second, so I don't think USB 2 is much of an issue. I'm not going to be showing you footage of my face in this video, however I will show you the resolution at which the camera records, bearing in mind that when you are using a streamer cam you are not using full screen, you are typically using the footage a lot smaller. If you want to get into Twitch, YouTube, whether it be on console or PC, this is a great kit to have. In the video description below, I'm going to be putting in a bunch of links where you can acquire the Live Streamer 311 kit for yourself. I'd highly recommend it. A special shout out goes out to my beautiful Patreons and the members of the Mr. Flak channel. I thank you so much for joining the Flaktonian family. There are so many of you guys out there. More have joined this month. Welcome on board. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for your support. I have one final favor to ask you guys. If you did enjoy this video, please leave me a thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy the video, please don't leave me a thumbs up. I need a clear indication if I'm doing a good job, and your genuine like will tell me if I'm doing a good job or doing a bad job. If you think I can make any improvements, or if you perhaps have any suggestions, please leave a comment and let me know what you think. Thank you again for watching, and as always, flak out.